God bless each of you for being here today. We are a nation that was founded by men and women fleeing religious oppression. I'm actually fine. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. We are a nation that was founded by men and women who fled religious oppression. We were founded by men and women who came here because we said every one of us has a God-given right to seek out the Lord God Almighty with all of our heart, mind, and soul, free from the government standing in the way. That is our shared legacy. It's a legacy for people of all faiths. There is a reason why the very first protection in the Bill of Rights is the protection of religious liberty. It comes before the freedom of speech, before the freedom of the press. The very first things the framers wanted to protect in the Bill of Rights was the right of each and every one of us to worship God consistent with the dictates of our conscience. Now, sadly, with Obamacare, we have seen that every powerful interest gets an exemption. Big business gets an exemption. Members of Congress get an exemption. Those who walk the corridors of power in the Obama administration get an exemption. And yet the position of this administration is that people of faith do not deserve an exemption. People of faith do not have a right to practice their faith. Now let's be clear what this issue is not about. We have protesters over on that side talking about the right of each person to choose to use contraceptives. Nobody's doubting that any person, if they choose to use contraceptives, can do so. This is not about that. This is about whether the federal government can force people of faith to violate their own faith by paying for something that is contrary to the dictates and teaching of their faith. That is fundamentally different. You know, right now, in addition to Hobby Lobby, the administration is litigating against the Little Sisters of the Poor, a Catholic convent of nuns who've taken a vow of poverty to care for the needy, to care for the elderly, to provide health care to the needy. And right now, the Obama administration is trying to exact millions of dollars of fines from the Little Sisters of the Poor because they're unwilling to pay for contraceptives that violate the teaching of their faith. Now, any individual can choose to exercise whatever they want, but the idea that we're trying to fine Catholic nuns millions of dollars to force them to violate their faith, that runs utterly contrary to centuries of tradition, to the protection of our Constitution. It is quite fitting we are standing here before the Supreme Court. On this side is Congress. Congress that passed this disaster, this train wreck of a law that is hurting so many millions of people. But fortunately, when Congress passes a law that hurts people, that violates the Constitution, it crosses the street. And we have for centuries been able to count on the Supreme Court to stand up and defend the constitutional rights of every American. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I predict that the United States Supreme Court is going to strike down the contraception mandate because they're going to say the federal government does not have the authority to force people to violate their faith, particularly when they're granting exemptions to every other powerful interest. They can't single out people of faith and say you will be treated worse than big business, worse than members of Congress. And so I want to just say thank you. Thank you for being here in this beautiful weather from God. Thank you for standing up for your principles. Thank you for standing up for liberty. Thank you for standing up for faith. Thank you for standing up for the Constitution. Religious liberty should resonate with every American, whether you're Catholic or Protestant, Jewish or Muslim, whether you're a person of no faith. We should all respect the constitutional right of every American to seek out God with all of our heart, mind, and soul. And I salute you. I thank you for your prayers for our nation. And I thank you for standing up for liberty. God bless you.